So today lesson forget about goals, focus on system instead. Prevailing wisdom claims that the best way to achieve what we want in life, getting into better shape, building a successful business, relaxing more and worrying less, spending more time with friends and family is to set specific and actionable goals. For many years, this was how I approached my habits too. Each one was a goal to be reached. I set goals for the grades I wanted to get in school, for the weights I wanted to lift in the gym, for the profit I wanted to earn in business. I succeeded at a few, but I failed a lot of them. Eventually, I began to realize that my result had very little to do with the goals I set and nearly everything to do with the system I followed. What's the difference between systems and goals? It is distinct. It's a distinction I first learned from Scott Adams, the cartoonist behind the Dilbert comic. Goals are about the result you want to achieve. Systems are about the process that leads to those results. First one, if you are a coach, your goal might to win a championship. Your system is the way you recruit players, manage your assistant coaches, and conduct practices. If you are an entrepreneur, your goal might be to build $1 million business. Your system is how you test product ideas, hire employees, and run marketing campaigns. If you are a musician, your goal might be to play a new piece. Your system is how often you practice, how you break down and tackle difficult measures, and your method receiving feedback from your investor. Now, for the interesting question, if you completely ignored your goals and focused only on your system, would you still succeed? For example, if you were a basketball coach and you ignored your goal to win a championship and focused only on what your team does at practice each day, would you still get results? I think you would. The goal in any sport is to finish with the best score, but it would be ridiculous to spend the whole game staring at the scoreboard. The only way to actually win is to get better each day. In the words of three-time Super Bowl winner Bill the sport take care of itself. The same is true for other areas of life. If you want better result, then forget about setting goals. Focus on your system instead. What do I mean by this? Are goals completely useless? Of course not. Goals are good for setting a direction, but systems are best for making progress. A handful of problems arise when you spend too much time thinking about your goals and not enough time designing your system. Problem 1. Winner and losers have same goals. Goal setting suffers from a serious case of survivorship bias. We, con- we concentrate on the people who end up winning, the survivors, and mistakenly assume that ambitious goal led to their success while overlooking all of the people who had the same objective but didn't succeed. Every Olympian wants to win a gold medal. Every candidate wants to get a job. And if successful and unsuccessful, people share the same goals. Then the goal cannot be what differentiates the winner from the loser. It wasn't goal of winning the Tour de France that propelled the British cyclist to the top of the sport. Presumably, they had wanted to win the race every year before. Just like every other professional team, the goal had always been there. It was only when they implemented a system of continuous small improvements that they achieved a different outcome. Problem 2. Achieving a goal is only a momentary change. Imagine you have a messy room. and you set a goal to clean it. If you summon the energy to tidy up, then you will have a clean room for now. But if you maintain the same sloppy pack habits that led to the messy room in the first place, soon you will be looking at the new pile of the clutter and hoping for another burst of motivation. You are left chasing the same outcome because you never changed the system behind it. You treated the symptom without addressing the cause. Achieving a goal only changes your life for the moment. That's the counterintuitive thing about improvement. That cause those solve problems at the result level, you only solve them temporarily. In order to improve for good, you need to solve problem at the systems level. Fix the input and outputs will fix themselves. Problem 3. Goals restrict your happiness. The implicit assumption behind any goal is this: once I reach my goal, then I will be happy. The problem with goals first mentality is that you are continually putting happiness off until the next milestone. I have slipped into the trap so many times I have lost count. For years, happiness was always something for my future self to enjoy. I promised myself that once I gained 20 pounds of muscles, or after my business was featured in the New York Times, and I could finally relax. Furthermore, goals create an either or conflict. Either you have achieved your goal and are successful, or you fail and you are disappointment. You mentally box yourself into a narrow vision of happiness. This is misguided. It is unlikely that your actual path through life will match the exactly journey you had in mind when you set out. It makes no sense to restrict your satisfaction to one scenario. There are many paths to success. A system first mentality provides the antidote. When you fall in love with process rather than the product, you don't have to wait to give yourself permission to be happy. You can be satisfied anytime your system is running. And system can be successful in many different forms, not just one you first mentioned. Problem 4. Goals are at odds with long-term progress. Finally, a goal mindset can create a yo-yo effect. Many runners work hard for months, but as soon as they cross the finish line, they stop training. The race is no longer there to motivate them. When all of your hard work is focused on a particular goal, what is left to push you forward after you achieve it? This is why many people find themselves reverting to their old habits after accomplishing the goal. The purpose of the setting goals is to win the game. The purpose of building system is to continue playing the game. True long-term thinking is goal-less thinking. It's not about any single accomplishment. It's about the cycle of endless refinement and continuous improvement. Ultimately, it is your commitment to the process that will determine your progress.